heals.
Yeah, that's it. Or it could be that I actually like drink water here.
I mean, you should drink water all the time. Health tip, here's what I learned this week. No, you gotta drink water. But bam, bam.
I don't do that shit.
So what do you say? Oh, wait, hold on. What is this show, Noah? This is, oh wait, who am I? I guess, okay, let's just start over because I mentioned it briefly. This is I Don't Know Though. I'm your host, the Joey. I'm joined as always by my best friend in the entire world, Noah. Hey, it's my boy. This is the show where we go online and we find people who are in dire need of help and we relentlessly make fun of them.
But we're saving lives all the same.
Yeah, we either save lives or make it worse.
Hey.
One way, what is it we said the other day? Like one way or another, we will talk about it. So what do you say I was going to say help these people, but we don't help them. Okay, what do you say we talk about these people a little bit? So here are our options for this week. So we have a wedding issue.
Uh-oh.
We have sharing with friends issue. And we have a uncle who's trying to keep a secret.
I want to talk about sharing with friends. It seems like a nice, simple start. Ease us in.
All right. So this one says, am I the asshole for not letting a friend of mine use an umbrella in a Japanese downpour? My friends and I went sightseeing, aware that the weather forecast was warning of heavy rain. We're from England, but the correct response to rain is not to acknowledge it. But things are a little bit different in Japan. It is impossible to walk outside without getting fully soaked in a Japanese downpour. I warned my friends of this and stopped at a shop to buy an umbrella. They were reluctant to get one, either underestimating the rain or thinking they could get another one later if it actually rained. I warned them multiple times that if it rains, I would not let them borrow my umbrella. One friend had a raincoat, so it was mostly fine, but the other one did not. I reminded them that I would not share a few more times while we were walking. Roughly an hour later, it started raining hard. It was unlikely to stop raining anytime soon, and we had a train to catch. So, we walked in the rain for about half an hour to the station. I stood my word and refused to let them use my umbrella, which could probably easily fit 2 people underneath it. When we arrived, the friend without the raincoat was completely soaked, and the other was far from dry. Neither was particularly happy. Am I the asshole for standing by my word and not saving my friend from the rain?
Yes.
Yeah?
You are an asshole.
I mean, I would also agree that you're kind of, if not an asshole, just a hint of dick. Just like what's that wafting in the air? Is that Richard? Is that Richard the dick? I would share, I don't think I'd look at anyone who is in a downpour, and if I had an umbrella and we're walking the same directions, I would share with a stranger.
Right.
I have done that before. I've been walking down the street at KU, and it's been raining, and I've got my trusty umbrella because I finally went and bought one after not having one for 2 months, and it raining every other day back in the spring, it seems like. And so I had my umbrella and I was walking the same direction as someone. And so I just stepped over and put the umbrella over both of us. And then when they had to go somewhere, they just took off and went their separate way. Mm-hmm. I didn't even get their name or anything. I think they said thank you. Yeah, okay, they said thank you. But
they are not a essence of dick.
Yeah, they didn't have that smell. So that's just the kind of person I am.
You're such a good person.
I mean,
you're amazing.
I don't want to brag, but I'm kind of an
Jesus?
angel.
Is that you?
It's me.
Jesus.
It's racist when you say it, Noah. It's not racist when I say it. You gotta wait for me to say it, then you can agree.
No, I just thought I could jump in at the same time, but you hesitated, and so there's a split second.
I was trying to.
You trapped me.
I was doing the correct broadcast thing. Just wait for someone else because I was like, oh, he's talking. I'm gonna stop. And then you're like, hey, Jesus. I'm like, wait a minute. That's racist, Noah. And then I could trap you anyways. So I mean, that's the Christian thing to do is wait for someone to fuck up and be like, hey, apologize. You gotta say sorry.
Hey, I know what you did wrong, and I didn't do it, so I'm better than you. Yeah. But I'll forgive you because I'm an even better person for telling you that you did something wrong and letting you apologize to me, which is God, which is me.
Now drink my blood.
Please.
Sup of it, child. Would you share your umbrella with someone? Or how would you go about this? So put yourself in their shoes.
I'm gonna level with this man. He did say, he did warn them, and he made it very clear that he warned them. And I like being right. You know I like being right.
Oh, I know.
As much as apparently this guy likes being right and being like, it's gonna rain and it's gonna rain hard. And I have an umbrella and you guys don't. So I was right if it rains. And then it rained and he was like, I am so right that I'm not sharing with you. That's kind of a dick move.
Yeah. I was like, is that wrong?
It is wrong. It is. Because he just stated, it can fit too. One person is totally unprepared.
Yeah.
Like, I get not sacrificing, like if it was a small, like one person umbrella and you had to give it up for someone else. Okay. You're not as much of a dick. But you clearly stated there's enough room for two.
I mean, you could have not been the asshole by not. It's like in parentheses, it's like, oh, it could clearly fit at least 2 people. It's like, I just didn't want to, which makes me think, it's like, how big's your umbrella? One, it's just like, you're like, I'm gonna buy this 2-person umbrella. They bought it on their way out. They're like, okay, 3 friends, one has a rain suit, I don't, and that other person doesn't. I'm gonna buy a 2-person umbrella. That usually, to me, would be like, hey, you're thinking ahead, you're gonna share with your friend. But they're like, no, I'm gonna have a 2-person umbrella so I can be completely dry and not have to share it with anybody else.
No, and I get it, because like when you've like told someone and then they don't listen and then it happens and then they're like, I'm sorry. And you're like, I fucking told you.
Yeah.
I am not sharing. I told you I wouldn't share. I should not go back on that. And so I do understand why he didn't share. But at the same time, fucking share, dude.
Yeah. Like, I think the proper way to go about that, like the proper like bro code would be to like let them in the umbrella, but you could either A, like give them a hard time before you let them under, and then let them in, or B, let them in and then give them shit the whole way back and like make their life hell. Because I feel like that's like, not to judge, but I think that's the way that you might go. you'd be like, I mean, you can come over, but you know, you shouldn't have had an umbrella. Right? And then like,
this is my aura of me being right. So hop on in.
Yeah. For at least the entire 30-minute walk, you would berate me. If this were like you and I, and then you would probably bring it up like once in a while, like after that. And I think that's what keeps me from like relying on you for help for anything. It's just like, God damn, I'm never going to hear the end of this. So I think that's like probably the best way to go about it. Like share it, but like berate them forever and make them realize they're stupid.
Well, I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. I think it is. But it is the most satisfying way.
Yeah. I mean, it's the way that everybody gets what they want. You know, you get to be right and they get to be dry.
But to be fair, how inconvenient is being wet? Like, I don't know. Like, I think that's their punishment, is like to be wet now. Like, oh well.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, it's like in the moment, my mama raised me to be like a good, caring person, and not saying that you're not a good person because of this. Like, this doesn't say anything about your character per se.
You looked at me like at that, and I was like, I'm really taking this personally. Like, I'm not saying you're a bad person, but
no, I'm not saying you're a bad person, but you are white.
And you're not gonna share with a minority, so
yikes. I don't know.
This conjured reality is not looking good for you.
I don't know, dude. They wrote like a white person. This must be a cis white male.
It must be. That means we can dive into him, destroy him, tear him apart.
The BuzzFeed headline would be like, cis white male doesn't share umbrella with Japanese citizen, Japanese English citizen, or something like that. No, I think you're probably in the wrong. You are the asshole here, but you know, next time, just don't be less of an asshole like in the moment and more of an asshole later, because I think that's more satisfying to get to like draw it out. Because as much as it's like annoying to hear, like never hear the end of it, being the person who doesn't let the other person hear the end of it is very satisfying. I don't know if that tracked.
Yeah. But like, if you don't let them in, they're gonna be pissed because like, wow, this guy's kind of a shithead. And then if you do let him in and then you like berate him about it, well, it's like, okay, he still let me in. He's a good guy. He's just kind of a dick about this like little bit, which I understand. But not letting him in like kind of puts you on the wrong side of the fence there.
Yeah. Like one way it's like you get to be like almost like the dad, where it's like, hey, I'm telling you, it's gonna hurt. Don't touch that electric fence. Don't touch it. And then they touch it and they get shocked and they're like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I'm not gonna cry because like you told me it was gonna hurt, but I'm definitely not gonna do it again because you were right. And like, you know, even if like you don't get the satisfying you were right, it's like, you know, they know, you can look at each other and just like move on from there, and they can be like, oh, well, they're a good person. I know I can always count on them, even when I'm wrong.
But that's not the route you took, so they hate you.
Yeah, so we're just talking about days gone by here.
We're talking about theoretically good people, not this awful person.
This pile of shit. This fucking human trash. Yeah, that's right. Get off my freaking podcast. I'm kidding. Please tell your friends. Anyways, next up we have my best friend didn't include me in the wedding. We've been friends for almost 20 years, and she didn't include me in her bridal party, and I'm very upset. I've flown out of the country to attend her wedding, nearly a $5,000 expense just for me. We've been very close, and still are. There was no falling out, and she still calls me at least once a week, and has for years and years. We probably went a decade where we spoke basically every day, and sometimes still do. I see her all the time, and more than she does any other friend. She has remarked in the past that if she were to get married, she would have me and Rena as her bridesmaids. We're her two best friends. Prior to her wedding, I asked her about her bridal party, and she told me that she wasn't going to have one due to planning and time. So, imagine my shock when I see Rena included in the wedding ceremony and on the program along with 7 others from her family and his. I was really hurt that she wasn't honest with me. There were 9 total on his side and 8 on hers. Mutual friends at the wedding have been introducing me as the bride's best friend, and even when I took a group photo, a husband of a mutual friend said to her, "How about the one with just you and Kara? You're best friends." I was fighting back tears. I have to go to the reception, and I really need some input and encourage, and I really feel betrayed.
So I'm about to sound like a cis white man.
Go for it.
This is a really, really fucking girl problem. Guys wouldn't give a shit.
Oh, really? You wouldn't be offended?
I don't know. Like, I think I would be offended, but like, I don't think it would last very long.
Yeah. I mean, I think I hold on to this shit longer than you do usually, so I'd probably be kind of offended if if I went to your wedding, we're best friends, we do a podcast together, we do like all of the shit. I don't want to be your best man.
Best friends, more like work acquaintances at this point.
Okay, well, you know what? I don't have any other friends, so you're my best friend. I mean, I'd probably be offended if I wasn't included in anything in your wedding, you know?
But if you were invited, but not in the party,
okay,
would you be offended?
If I was invited and I had to spend $5,000 to come to your wedding,
why would you spend $5,000? You're getting real suited up.
That's what she said. She's like, I had to cover all of the travel costs and whatever, $5,000.
Oh, ooh, why'd you go?
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I mean, if you got married in Hawaii and I was like just invited, I'd be like, enjoy the fucking card, I guess. To spend that much money, like to go to the wedding, to talk to someone every day for years, to be best friends, I can understand how she's like hurt, you know?
Yeah.
I guess it's probably, no, it's not the same. I was gonna compare it to like you not being in the group for your brother's party, but that's like entirely different because you're related, so of course.
Yeah, he has to.
Yeah, he has to. He's like, oh, man, I really.
Now, what if I don't for him? I could really, show society in that way.
Yeah, I mean, you could have him in like the what's it called, the groomsmen or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'll make him an usher.
I would love it if Logan ushered
basically like the saying like, I know you exist. I know you, but I don't know you enough that I want you to like have fun at my wedding. Yeah. So I want to put you to work.
Just like extended family. Like it's like, oh yeah, you're my cousin's kids.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care.
I don't really know you.
Yeah. You can usher. You can be like a part of it. Like you're probably in some of the pictures because you're like a dumbass and don't know which way to go when the photographer's out. But whatever, you're there. I'd be remiss if I said that I would take it well to not be in your groomsman. At this point, anyways, in our lives, I don't know. I guess know about
best
years
friends. I feel like there'd be like 2 people who I'd be offended, and it would probably be like your wedding and like Logan's wedding.
Yeah,
and I don't think there's anyone else who I'd be like. There'd be some other people who I'm like, yeah, I might get in their party, but I don't think there's anyone who I'd be like offended.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people we know in the last like 2 years getting married, and like I just find out from a random Facebook notification or scrolling through Facebook like a couple weeks later and seeing like so and so got married and seeing pictures from it. I'm like, oh, cool, good for them. Right? It's never like anyone I'm like, oh yeah, like why didn't I get invited? It's like weddings are expensive.
Do you ever wish like should have got a text at least and like, hey?
Every now and then I think like there was a friend of ours who actually got married recently to his high school girlfriend, and I was like, whoa, that's cool. I didn't realize like
For sure.
that
I knew both of them when that was happening.
Yeah, and like yeah, it's kind of weird. Like I hadn't heard from either one of them. I was like, well, I mean, I guess we have kind of fallen out. But then I realized that I saw the bride like a week and a half before they got married, and she didn't even say anything to me then. And I was like, huh, I don't know if like that's a, oh, well, I didn't want to say anything and then have you not be invited, or like what? I guess that would probably be. Like,
I could also see where it'd be like a little shitty to be like, yeah, I'm getting married, like just like telling everyone.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was someone who like I was like catching up with like in the moment. I'm like, oh, what's new in your life? And she was just like, oh, nothing, just working. And I was like, there wasn't like, oh, nothing, just working.
Well, it's the same guy.
Yeah,
it's all the same. It wasn't new.
I guess so. I mean, that's pretty big though. Just
I know.
like, and in all fairness, she might have been wearing an engagement ring, and I just didn't notice. That's something that I feel like, and not to like stereotype like people into gender norms, but I feel like most of my female friends do that more, like look at hands for rings.
I feel like that's also like a TV trope. Like, they saw the ring. And I'm like,
yeah,
people wear rings? Like,
yeah, I have quite a few friends who do that. Though. They're just like, oh, there's a ring on their finger though. I'm like, what? or like, oh, they have a tan line from their ring. And I was like, how do you look at their hand enough? Like, I don't even notice people's hands most of the time. Like, even if they're like talking with them and gesturing, it's like, oh, those are just like sideline whatever visuals. It's never like, oh,
I'm trying so hard not to look them in the eyes that I'm like looking like 4 feet off, so I can't even see their hands because they're too close to their face.
I don't even look at their eyes. Like, I'm not gonna look at their hands or anything. I'm not gonna look at them. I'm zoning out above them. I'm like, of course. Like, there's like a cool bird off in the distance. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, I totally see where you're coming from. Were you married or something? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. Do you have any like words of encouragement for her? That's something I guess we haven't been asked for before.
It sucks. I guess that's something that you gotta be like, you gotta ask her. You gotta be like, hey, like, what was up? You invited me. You told me there wasn't gonna be a party.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's another thing I guess I just thought about. Like, she told her there wasn't going to be one. Also inviting her to the wedding. It's like, she's gonna see. Like, why can't you just be upfront and be like, sorry, you didn't make the cut?
Yeah, I don't know, because like they said, there's planning on being none. Then there was 9, and it was a lot of families, what it sounded like.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, she took the best friend, which was not her, the other girl.
Yeah.
And then she was just like, oh yeah, now I have 9 people that I don't know what to do with. And I mean, being in the parties is kind of an added expense, I guess, because you have to get their dress and their shoes. And
I mean, it does say there's 9 in the husband's party and 8 in the wives. So, I mean, is it normal for them to be uneven like that?
You're right. They should be even. So she blatantly ignored you.
It seems like that. Like, this is a friendship ender is what this is. Like in your face.
You know, I started off like, this is your own mind playing tricks on you, and now I'm like, you know what? Like, cut this bitch out.
Seriously, you've been cut off. Woo! Yeah. What is that show? What is that from?
Pitch Perfect.
Oh yeah, of course. I've seen that a lot of times. I definitely haven't just been around annoying people who did a lot.
I knew that with laser precision.
You're just like,
Anna Kendrick, I got her.
You're like, Pitch Perfect 1, approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes into the film. Actually,
I would say like 1 hour, like 9 minutes, but whatever.
Is it that far in? How long is that movie? Is it a 3-hour movie?
I don't know.
I feel like you have a 90-minute film with that, like with an acapella movie. It's like,
well, my guess would be like 45 minutes in.
Okay.
Maybe a little earlier.
45 minutes in the movie. 45 minutes and 28 seconds in scene 257.
Let's Google it.
Anna Kendrick goes, I just hit myself in the face. I rolled a fucking nat 1 on my dex there. Yeah, no, it sounds like she's being a straight up cunt. You should excommunicate her, invite her to your wedding, and then change the location.
Oh, get fucked.
Like, you should be like, okay, I'm getting married in Maui, but then like really like do it on another island. So you can still go to Hawaii and get the Hawaii experience, but like just don't
You
tell
can still
her.
have binoculars and see her land and be super fucking confused.
Oh, that'd be so dope. Just knowing the whole time. That's really fucked, but at the same time, that's the ultimate gratification.
Oh, is to pay someone to follow her with a camera, so anytime that you want to see her like lone and scared, you can just pull out your phone and like see the live stream.
How much like anger and vitriol do you have in your body that you do that to someone? Like, what would someone have to do to you for you to do that?
It would have to be a lot. Like, I don't like jokes and stuff that are like seemingly harmless but still like a big inconvenience. And so that's a huge inconvenience. A lot of money, a lot of time.
I had this running joke with a friend of mine where they were like, oh well, you're gonna make it as like a big director, and then you're gonna like shove it in this person's face who was like always just kind of not my friend. You know this person. So what you should do as a director is you should hire them on as like the audio guy and then like yell at them and like fire them like that day. But then the next day call them back and be like, hey, like I was just like, I had to like have a show of force. Like you were there in the moment. Like, you know me, like we know it. We've known each other for years. Like we gotta, like, I just had to like have them there. I knew you could take it. So like come back to set and like do whatever. And then just continually hire and refire him like forever. And I was like,
and he would fall for it every time.
Well, that's the funny thing is he would, but it's like, man, I don't like this person. But I don't know if I don't like them that much because that would mean I would have to see them every day.
I don't know if there's like anything they could do to me for me to do that to someone. But like, I guess if everyone else hated them and they're like, we need your help organizing this. We all want to get in on this. Then maybe if they like deserved it. But I don't think it would ever be my own plan.
Yeah, it definitely like that was definitely like way too diabolical for me. Like, I mean, not diabolical in the sense of like, oh, it's genius, but like just too much
It's way
work.
too clever. I could have never thought of that. They would have seen right through it.
Yeah, I just like, what? That's not my plan, dude. I was just gonna like put seltzer water in a flower and have them smell it. So yeah, that was our advice, right? Just excommunicate and then prank the fuck out of them.
Yeah, destroy them.
All right. Speaking of things that cost money, this podcast costs money, and so
what a segue.
We're gonna pay. That was the worst.
You're the best jumper.
I am the amazing host. Please pay me. See you guys on the other side of the break. Here's the process. We got to get a pool, and then we got to cover the pool in those reservoir black balls.
Okay.
And then we just jump in that. Because like, have you seen the video of that? You watched Veritasium. Yeah, where he like shows like underneath the balls and stuff. It's like, that looks cool. Like I would just chill down there. Like give me a long ass snorkel and a waterproof book and I'll chill.
In the dark, the balls that are designed to block light. I'm just gonna sit and read.
Yeah, I mean it's not that dark underneath it, but it's, you know, it blocks a fair amount of light. Like it's no different than like my my blanket in front of my window right now because I don't have blackout curtains. Like
Could you imagine reading underwater? It'd be kind of weird.
It would be weird, but I don't know. I really like being underwater. Like just and I guess you don't purely because of your.
I got some ear problems.
Yeah. But like I like the sensation of like there's pressure all around me, but also it's just like it's calm. It's calmer than anything else ever could be, and it doesn't like mess with my tinnitus to do. It's just like because you hear the vibrations of the water and of your like body and stuff, and so it's weird in that sense, but I really like it a lot. Welcome back from the break. We've been back for a minute, but you know we were talking about stuff during the break time.
Yeah. Read a question.
I don't have another. Well, I do have another question, but Noah, did you learn anything this week? We didn't talk about that, but you know, we can take another 14 minutes and ask if you learned anything because I have to come up with something in this time as well.
Fair enough. If your pantry's looking pretty bare and you need a quick snack, you know, it's not a bad idea to have some chocolate chips around. They really just get your sweet tooth around. I'm literally staring at a bag of chocolate chips right now.
Right before we did the podcast, we did we take a shot before we do podcasts because it makes us perform better and it makes Joey read worse. And then we took our shot and Noah went straight to the cupboard and grabbed what was left of a bag of chocolate chips.
Which has probably not been used for cookies at all. So it's probably just been me eating those slowly.
I was gonna say, I think I've only like gotten into them like once. I don't like chocolate all that much.
For sure.
Like I like a lot of sweets, but chocolate's the one that's like I've never really loved a ton. So I mean, hey, there you go. If you don't want me to eat your candy, just get a bunch of chocolate.
Hey, Reese's.
I'm Reese's are different.
Oh, okay.
Reese's is
they do transcend a lot of barriers. Reese's.
Yeah, like Reese's transcend like racial barrier. Like if
you know how Pepsi tried to make a peace commercial.
Yeah,
Reese's should have done that.
If Reese's would have done it, people would have been like, okay,
yeah, I see it.
That makes sense. I'll do it. Kendall Jenner's just like, I would never eat a Reese's, and we're just like, get out of here.
Exactly.
We don't need you.
That's why you're not this.
Give me someone good. Give me like Michael Cera.
Hanks. Okay.
Oh.
Michael Cera. I just wanted a good, wholesome man.
We went 2 different directions.
And you gave me a good, wholesome boy.
Yeah. I mean, how old is Michael Cera now?
He's still a boy. It doesn't matter. He's 45. He's still a boy.
Dude, Michael Cera will be a boy until he's 50, and then at that point he will become an adolescent. He's like, what a good juvenile. What a good young man.
No, then people look at him. He's like, wow, that's a real tired boy.
Yeah, why is somebody give that kid like a pudding cup and a nap?
He looks so sad and exhausted.
Yeah. What does he even do? What does he got to be sad about?
I don't know.
Sits around drinking apple juice all day. Can't tell if I'm actually talking about a kid or Michael Cera anymore. It was a bit. Now I'm serious.
Now I'm looking into my past and I'm like, why were you sad?
Yeah, I do love Michael Cera, so I think it's a good spokesperson. Tom Hanks as well. This is good, but Tom Hanks is just like, Tom Hanks looks too much like a dad to like really like be the good spokesperson for Reese's Pieces,
because you just like don't want to embrace him all the way, because you're like, I resent you a little bit.
Yeah, like whatever, dad. And then if you get Michael Cera in there, or
but if you have like
that,
father problems, then you're like, fucking Tom Hanks inspires me.
No, you know what it is? We need a middle ground. So we don't need a boy. We don't need like a hip, cool, like chill, sweet boy. We don't need a man who like knows what's up and is like, hey, your son, you know, you did good out there, even though you struck out on every base.
So we need like a strong, like middle-aged man.
We need a middle man who is fun. We need a fun uncle.
A fun uncle.
We need Zach Galifianakis to be the spokesperson for Reese's Pieces.
Were you seriously just gonna gloss over the man himself, the Uncle Jesse?
Uncle Jesse. Oh, we need John Stamos.
John Stamos.
John Stamos, the epitome, the epitome of. I'm gonna get so much hate for saying epitome.
It's funny because I said it, now you say it.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you said it before.
I had known about it before, and then I think you're one of the first people I heard just use it in like daily vocabulary rather than just like the epitome. You literally would just go about, oh yeah, this is the epitome of blah 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 blah. I'm like, I can't tell if he knows it's a meme or if he just doesn't.
If he just read it one time and never confirmed.
There's a lot of words like that. Okay, so John Stamos, but
he's kind of old now.
The Greek yogurt already has him. So we can't.
Fucking Danos or I don't know.
It's Oros or something like that. Yeah.
Fucking Oros.
I think Zach Galifianakis would be great.
Okay.
Because you can have him, you bring back Between Two Ferns and have him just like hit people. Or maybe we could get Eric Andre. Just have him throw Reese's at people.
But see, that's what I'm saying. It's like these people aren't like the dads and like the loving brother that Michael Cera and Tom Hanks are.
Yeah, they're just the fun uncle.
We need
you know when your fun uncle like sits you down and he's like, hey, listen, weed's cool and all, but don't do heroin. And then you're like, but Uncle Zach, why not? And he's like,
but what? Uncle Eric Andre, please stop putting this heroin in my arm. Like, I want to stop, please.
And he's like holding you. He's like, nightmare. Anyways,
what did you learn this week?
Fuck,
chocolate chips are a good quick snack. That was my thing.
Okay. So chocolate chips are a good quick snack, not a healthy snack.
No, but if your pantry's empty and you just need something sweet, 10 chocolate chips will get you by.
I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna be the hippy dippy druid dad.
Never mind. Next question.
I'm gonna say banana chips or dehydrated fruit. It's like all sugar, but it's still like good. Like I like them a lot. They're like sweet in a particular way.
They're okay. They're like really hard, so you gotta like chew on them like twice as much as you would like a kettle cooked potato chip.
But it's like they're like good for like, I mean, for when I'm sitting and editing or writing, I love just munching on something. And I feel like banana chips, I don't like hate myself as much afterwards.
Fair enough. But like you said, they are covered in sugar.
Yeah.
They are sugar. And so it's like they are just as bad for you. Maybe not quite. They still have fiber and stuff. But at least like they're tricking you into being like, oh, I ate a whole bag of these.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
Well, it's like eating veggie straws. Like people that
Yeah.
get veggie straws for their kids. It's like, I only feed my kids are vegan and we only eat like veggie straws and grass. And then you're like,
the same as potato chips.
Yeah, they're the same as potato chips.
So at least
and
chocolate chips, you know that you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you should be a piece of shit, like, but under the illusion that you're not.
Fair enough.
Because it's all about how you look at the world, man. You gotta like look in the mirror and be like, you know what? I may not be like the hottest person. I may not be the smartest person. I may not even be the best person. But hey, I love the piece of shit that I am.
So you really got to fall into the illusion that the man sets for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so you just got to like be ignorant.
Be ignorant. Can we get that on a shirt?
Be ignorant.
I want that like on a pillow, or like that to be like our first graphic shirt. Just like be ignorant. Noah Ghosts 2019.
I don't know if I want to be associated with that.
Oh, it's too late, bud.
It's too late. I got it. I have my graphic design class coming in handy right now.
All right, what do you say we answer how much time we got left? At least one more.
One more.
Okay. So, this is actually a really short one. It says, I don't want to be funny. I figure we both know a thing or two about not being funny. Wait for me, Noah.
I'm hurt. You told me I'm not funny. I don't know what to do.
Every decision when I'm with my friends revolves around being funny. I don't know why I choose to do that, but I want it to stop. I'm a teenager. I want to be respected when I grow up. But if I keep doing this, I don't think I'll ever be respected. I don't think I'll ever be respected. I say dumb stuff. Not bad jokes, but still just dumb stuff. This might seem like a small thing to you, but it bothers me nonetheless. Help me.
Help me.
All right, Noah, you're not funny. How do you do it? What's your secret?
Yeah, no, it really just exudes from me. Like, I don't even have to try. Like, I'm just so talented in not being funny that, you know, it kind of comes naturally to me.
I think what it is the smarter you are, the less funny you are. Or the less you, maybe it's like,
oh shit, thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so
Thanks.
smart.
Yeah.
You're so smart, I can never be funny.
That's why I'm not funny. Thank you.
Well, I mean, like, I'm just thinking of like a pharmaceuticals major or like a medical major. A lot of them are just like, yeah, so or maybe it's like programming. Not that programming people aren't funny, but still, it's just like, yeah, so today I went out and I had a
I don't know. I've met some pharmaceuticals majors that are like, I'm going to be a legal drug dealer. And I'm like, kill yourself.
Yeah. But they're not funny.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're right.
So it's perfect.
Your first example was spot on.
So yeah, I think that fits perfectly. Just grow up and be in pharmaceuticals or a drug dealer or a legal drug dealer.
He's too smart. But like, I think comedians are smart. Like,
I wasn't saying comedians aren't smart.
So those are like the gods that could be both.
Yeah. It's like the little.
They broke the glass ceiling.
Yeah. Why not both meme thing? The little Mexican girl.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Hey, what would you say to me? You speaking Latin?
Is that racist?
What's going on? I don't know what you just said. I don't speak Mexican.
That's me, Beto O'Rourke. Pandering to the...
I don't know who that is.
No, he's the Democratic representative who tried to be governor of Texas, almost won, being a Democrat in Texas, kind of impressive. And now he's running for president. But he's from El Paso, has, I believe, Mexican heritage. So he whenever he answers a question, he usually starts out in Spanish and then switches over to English.
Ooh, really flexing on him.
Yeah.
You know that his publicist talked to him about that. Just like, hey, listen, bitches love this.
Well, part of it's like, you know he's pandering. You know he's over there.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I can do this and you can't. But at the same time, it is like his heritage. And he is talking to the people who are closest to his home.
Yeah. A lot of the country, it's like Spanish is becoming more and more predominant.
I was about to say, it's like our second most popular language. So you're not just speaking to those people in El Paso. You're speaking to like the entire southern half at least.
Yeah. So good for him. Back to like things that are funny, Noah. We got a joke about this kid who doesn't want to be funny. He's low-key flexing here on us. You realize that, right? He's like, guys, I'm so fucking funny, I can't stop. Like
I just say stuff and it comes out gold.
Dude, I felt like this when I was a kid too, though. Like, that's when I had a Minecraft YouTube channel, and I was like, yo, everything I do is just so fucking good.
Everyone laughs at what I do, so, like, why wouldn't the world?
At that time, I didn't understand cringe humor.
Yeah.
And the fact that people were laughing at me because I was just so terrible. And I was like, oh, haha, that hurts a lot to look at what your life is. You didn't realize
people were just being polite.
Yeah, so, think about that there, son. I know you're a teenager, but, why don't you get some fucking, like, perspective on your life and think about how shitty you are.
Enter the real world, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I thought I was really funny in high school, and then I, like, started interacting with people who were actually funny. And then I was like, well, I'm just going to start a podcast, and then I'll be the funniest person on the podcast. And then I had Noah on, and I'm like, well, goddamn, I can't do it anymore. So
he's not very smart. He's funnier than me.
And so I was like, well, what if I started a YouTube channel and I just called it Humorish, because I'm like,
now
funny
I'm self-aware, dude.
Yeah, now it's funny because there's layers to it, like an ogre. Kids get that Shrek.
It's a parfait, bro.
Like a cake or an onion. There we go.
Little white hairs.
The donkeys have sleeves. Let's keep going with Shrek. What else do we know from Shrek? Don't look down.
Short man. Farquaad. I can't look you in the eye. Stop.
Farquaad.
You're burning into me.
Look me in the eyes. Tell me
a
about
donkey
Shrek.
fucked the dragon.
Nobody talks about that.
It messed me up.
Like, on a serious
I think that's why
note,
I'm a furry.
Like, are you a furry or a scaly? Because in that,
I don't know. The baby dragons were both, right?
Yeah, but he would have to be on top. So, like, the commentary of Shrek is, like, a whole nother level of, like, furries dominate scalies.
Okay. I see.
Have you thought about that? Has Reddit thought about that? Is this an original thought?
This is a big issue. Sorry, guys. We got to end the podcast. We got to get right on this.
We're going to start a new podcast just talking about Shrek and the socioeconomics of the things that it says.
The socio-political sphere that they have created.
Like, really just break down the dichotomy.
The lore within this universe is insane.
Like, what were the writers really trying to say? Like, what was the commentary behind, like, turning the dad into a frog? like really, like, why was the fairy godmother, like, trying to gain power from these people when she herself was a magical being and didn't need to do such things to gain power?
I listened to a podcast called Harry Potter and the Sacred Texts. Not a plug, because you have to listen to our stuff.
Yeah.
But they did a really good job about talking about Harry Potter in a sense as if it was like a religious text, and they, like, intentionally, like, read too far into it to try and, like, piece out what they could into, like, their everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we should do that with Shrek. Just, like, watch 10 minutes of it and then just pull out whatever we can from it.
All right, guys, we're going to make a Patreon, and that's going to be the...
our first goal.
That's going to be the $15 goal, because it's a lot of work to watch Shrek and have to, like, dissect it little by little.
Well, no, I just think it needs to be one of those goals where it's like, if everyone works together and we make this much a month.
Okay. All right, yeah, if we get one
of those milestones.
Let's say, all right, we'll do, like, what's the lowest usually? It's like a $2 or $3 pledge?
Yeah.
I think no. It's like, usually isn't it like the $2 pledge is like, hey, we like you, and then the $5 pledge is like, get your stuff. So let's do that. So if we open up a Patreon, this is official, by the way. Okay. We have it here, and I'm typing it up as we speak.
I have it here in audio. That will not be cut out.
If we get 15 patrons on the $5, this is such a low goal, but if we get 15, we'll start doing it.
15 at $5, that's almost $100 a month.
I think
that's worth it.
I think it's worth it. $100 a month to start dissecting,
to buy
Shrek.
the 3 Shrek movies. And
are there 4?
Are there 4?
I think.
Oh, it's not worth it anymore.
I think you're forgetting. Well, okay. Are we doing Shrek and the Shrek extended universe?
Hell yeah.
So we're doing Shrek. We're doing the
Puss in Boots. We do not go halfway with Shrek.
We're doing the Puss in Boots movies.
Okay.
I think there's 2 of those. I don't think Donkey has movie. I think that's it. But there's also the Shrek special.
And, like, the Halloween.
And the Halloween ones, where it's like the Shrek Spooky Tales, and the Christmas special.
Okay.
That's a lot of Shrek.
That's a lot of Shrek.
I actually, thinking about it now, that's way more Shrek than I thought there was. And then we're going to have to, of course, as like a stretch goal, we will
write a fanfic.
We'll write a fanfic and we'll act it out. Okay. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of I Don't Know Though. I'm sorry that we didn't help the last person who's funny, but whatever, get good. If you guys want to find us, you guys stay for the post thing. and you'll hear that. Noah, do you have anything you want to like close on? Do you have any like good words?
Good words.
Just like a good word, something that you like. A word that sounds nice.
I like the word haberdashery.
Haberdashery.
It's like a men's apparel store.
All right.
Haberdashery.
That's good. Haberdashery. And how about we'll haberdasher see you later, bro?
Die. I hate you just a little bit more.
That was so bad. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to this Humorish podcast. You can email your questions to humorish.tm@gmail.com and talk to us on Twitter using the hashtag IDKTHO show. The podcast music was Marigolds in May by Jamie Bathgate.